Energy performance certificates are inextricably linked to European legislation. They were introduced through a European directive. They are a scheme that applies across all of Europe that allows those looking to rent or buy property to get an idea of the energy efficiency and thereby the energy costs of the properties they'd be looking either at investing or moving into. However, because they are so tied to European Union legislation, the EU referendum vote to leave the EU may cast the validity of EPCs into doubt. Now, in the short term, we're going to remain members of the European Union for at least 2 years, and more likely 3 years. And during that time, we will need to abide by European legislation. That will, of course, take us past the deadline for the minimum energy efficiency standards. So, at the moment, it's quite clear that landlords will need to continue to acquire EPCs in order to be able to let their property legally. What happens afterwards is a little in doubt. However, there's so much legislation tied in around environmental policy and energy efficiency that I think it's very unlikely the government will look to abandon EPCs altogether. Every indication at every question time in the House of Commons has been that EPCs will continue to be used and continue to be required. Much will depend on how the government decides to negotiate the leaving of the European Union. On the one hand, they could simply repeal all EU laws and then spend a lengthy process readopting those laws that they wish to keep, or they could simply readopt every EU-related law and then spend a lot of time repealing the ones we don't like. I suspect the latter is the much more likely route that the government will be down, which means EPCs will be here to stay in all probability for the foreseeable future. At the end of the day, if you readopt all legislation and then selectively repeal, you're not leaving any gaps in legislation. You're not seeing the unintended consequences that you might see by repealing all legislation and leaving large areas of government interest, if you like, open to unexpected consequences.